Welcome to the Rashawn Franklin Show, a March Madness edition of the Rashawn Franklin Show. Joined by two SEC guys, Chris Gordy and Jon Schuette. Chris is host of Locked On SEC, a podcast, and also an iHeart guy, a radio host for the last 20 years. Jon, I've known, been on the pod, KSR alumni. How you guys doing? How's your March going so far?
Going a lot better than Aiden Holloway, I'll say so far. But yeah, it's this time of year is always fun, man. When you get that fresh bracket and you go to fill it out and it's completely empty, and you're like, I'm gonna get all these right. Like this is the time of optimism. Now check back with me come Friday evening when half my bracket's dead already. Then then I'll be tearing it up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually filling out my paper bracket. I got to go to Staples later today to get a passport done. So, yeah, I'll print out a couple while I'm there and do it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, that's the best. I still remember that in high school, just filling them out. Just the best. Man, a little LSU shot to Alabama right there. I caught it pretty quickly. I actually had them coming out of that region until that news broke. So I had to go in there and redo that. But today we're going to do an exercise, our top 5 national championship winners over the last 20, 25, 26 years since 2000. A lot of great champions in that time. I'm interested to see the list you guys put together. I just went through kind of just year by year, and just a lot of memories came up. And so I think this will be a really, really fun exercise. We're going to start with Chris and then Jon, and then I'll go last. Chris, what you got?
So we're kind of going backwards, right? So number 5 will be like your least favorite, and then number 1 will be your most favorite.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So number 5, I'm going to go with, and this is always, you got to go with who you like. And that one guy I just became a massive fan of, 2010, 2011 UConn, Kemba Walker's team. They weren't the greatest team ever. They beat Arizona. They beat Kentucky. They beat Butler in the championship. Like I said, not many would say one of the greatest teams, but I just loved watching Kemba Walker play. I think they won like 11 straight games to finish that season. They were the first team in D1 to play 41 games in the season because they had to play 5 games to win their conference tournament. But Kemba Walker, one of my all-time greats, fun to watch. I'm putting that 2010, 2011 UConn team in.
Cool. Jon, who you got at 5?
Number 5 for me, I'm definitely going to have to go a little local flavor here with Kentucky. I am definitely a fan of Deron Lamb, national champion. Was the UK leading three-point shooter for until the more modern era with the three-point shooting coming up. He was my favorite player while I was at UK, and during that time, absolutely a joy to watch. And a lot of people forget Anthony Davis was the number 1 player on that team, but if it weren't for Deron Lamb showing up to play in that national title game, Deron Lamb kind of saved Calipari there and got that first national title actually for the team.
Yeah. So I went back today and watched that run. Man, what a fun time that was to be a UK fan. We've had a lot of fun moments over the last 25 years, especially that, 2009 to more recently. But yeah, hell of a run and a hell of a title in New Orleans that year. My number 5 is the 2018 Villanova Wildcats. Blew everyone out. Dante DiVincenzo, 2 national championships in college, 1 in the pros. Ultimate winner. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. I know people would like that 2016 team a little better just because of the shot, but the dominance of the 2018 team kind of sticks in my mind. All these guys are having great pro careers, so they kind of are my number 5 and kind of stick out in memory over these last 25 years. So, Chris?
Yeah, number 4, by the way, that Kentucky team. Y'all are Kentucky guys. I'm higher on that team. That you'll hear from them a little bit later on my list. But I'm probably going to go for my number 4. I'll go with the 04-05 North Carolina team. They were kind of like the villains. I didn't like Sean May. I didn't like Raymond Felton. I didn't like Rashad McCants, but that team was loaded. They had 4 first-round picks on that team. They led the nation 88 points a game in scoring. They beat Michigan State and then with Deron Williams and Illinois in the championship. So I'll go with that 05 North Carolina team.
Yeah, for my number 4, going to go pretty recent here. Going to go with the 2024 UConn Huskies. 37-3, if memory serves, was that record. Believe they only lost on the road, no home losses or neutral site losses. I mean, they just ran through the tournament there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the Tristan Newton most outstanding player in the Final Four. He had a tremendous year, and I mean, honestly, going back to back. Granted, the team wasn't the exact same, but it did have a lot of the same core guys, and they really let it show why they were the defending champions in that second go around in 2024.
Yeah, hate UConn, but man, what a run they've had these last couple years. I also have 2005 UNC as my number 4.
Nice.
So, and the reason why is because that year just sticks out of my mind. Growing up in Chicago, Illinois was just an incredible team. Deron Lamb, Luther Head, D. Brown, and we were just hoping, praying that they won that. This was before I even thought about going to Kentucky, and so that national championship game run from them kind of made me a college basketball junkie. And, that's why I have them listed. Don't care too much about Illinois losing at this point now in my life, but that was just a fun tournament, fun run. That Illinois Arizona comeback. I'll never forget at a friend's house, down 16 or something with 4 minutes to go. Darren Williams went crazy. Man, what a run for them, and what a fun tournament that was. So, Chris.
Number 3, this is going back. This is old now. Going back to the very start of this, 2000, 2001 Duke. Shane Battier, Jay Williams. Remember they took down Gilbert Arenas and Richard Jefferson's Arizona in the championship. But I mean, yeah, what Boozer, Mike Dunleavy. The guy that I love though was a local guy. I'm from New Orleans. Guy who played Slide L right down the road from me, Chris Duhon, was kind of a beloved guy. And it's funny, Louisiana's become such a like keep the good kids in state now. But back then, if you were good, it was like, no, man, go to the big leagues, go out to wherever school you can go to. And Chris Duhon going to Duke was like, oh my God, it's one of our locals. We used to watch him hoop it up on the weekends, and now he's playing on the big stage. And so that was cool to see. And obviously Shane Battier, I loved watching him all throughout his NBA career, and just one of the greats. So I'll go with that 01 Duke. And I know I'm naming a lot of schools you guys probably hate, but
For sure.
but yeah, that's that Duke team. They were just fun to watch.
Yeah. John?
For me, number 3, I went the 2007 Florida Gators, kind of keeping it with the back-to-back vibe. The 06 team, I believe they won as a 3 seed. But the next year, I think they lost 5 games. I think it was mainly due to boredom at the end of the year. That's kind of when they lost those. But when it came to the tournament, they just started running over absolutely everybody in the tournament, including the title game when they beat the Greg Oden, Mike Conley Ohio State team, who was kind of tremendous that year too. So yeah, that second Billy Donovan Florida title, it's hard to say they're not one of the better teams from the past 20 years or so.
I also have the 2007 Florida Gators as my number 3 team. A lot of our nemesis have won titles over the last 25 years, which I don't know how to feel about. I'm not naming any Duke teams on this, spoiler. Like, that's not going to happen. But yeah, that 2007 Florida Gators team, Billy Donovan, Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Corey Brewer, completing the back-to-back is just so hard to do, man. Beating Greg Oden, that Mike Conley Jr. team, just an incredible run by them. Wanted Billy Donovan as the coach, got Mark Pope. We'll see what happens going forward. But man, what a run by those guys in 07. And Joakim became one of my favorite players in the NBA, playing for my Bulls. And so I have a different kind of view of them now than I did back then. Chris?
Yeah, so we're gonna make it 3 in a row. This is my number 2, was the 06-07 Florida Gators. Like you guys said, and look, I'm a little partial to my Houston Rockets. I already gave love to Shane Battier. Corey Brewer, we loved him in Houston. He actually, when he hung it up, he ended up coming to do some radio segments with us that next year, and then he went back and got into coaching. I think he's with the New Orleans Pelicans, still kind of working with them. But Corey Brewer, just a good dude. Horford, I mean, the fact that Al Horford's still playing in the league is ridiculous.
Man, can't believe it.
But Torian Green, underrated player. And then Joakim Noah, no better quote than when he decided to come back. And they're like, why didn't you go pro? He said, because the NBA is boring. I was like, man, that guy's awesome. What a quote. But that run they had, man, they beat that UCLA team in the Final Four that had Darren Collison, Aaron Aflalo, Luke Bamute, People forget Russell Westbrook was like a bench player then. Like
Yes.
he wasn't even the dude yet. And then beating Greg Oden and Mike Conley, which people talking about now, we forget. Like Greg Oden was the dude that
The
year. Like
guy.
I mean, it's crazy. His NBA career obviously didn't pan out, but that Florida team was just dominance.
Yeah, the team I won number 1, 0-1 Duke. I was only 10 years old at the time. I remember going to bed scared of that team at night. I just remember them being so good. 10-year-old me being absolutely terrified of them. I mean, we already named how many players who went on to be pros there. I mean, Jay Williams, Chris Duhon, Shane Battier. I mean, Coach Krzyzewski is the coach. They killed everybody in the tournament, even a loaded Arizona team with Gilbert Arenas on it. I can't remember who the number 2 man was on that team, but I mean, Lute Olson Arizona teams back in the late 90s, early 2000s were absolutely rolling. And yeah, I got to give it to them here, even as a Kentucky guy. Pretty good team.
Tough to do. My number 2, I love redemption stories. In 2018 UVA, after losing to UMBC the prior year, came back and took the national title. That was just a remarkable story. Kyle Guy, DeAndre Hunter, Ty Jerome. We didn't always like watching UVA, but for them to come back and finish what they started that next year, it's very difficult to do. So they would be my number 2 team. You got one, Chris.
I'm going with the team you guys discounted. 2011, 2012 Kentucky. Look, Anthony Davis was, I mean, one of my most fun players to watch. And what's crazy is you forget, like, and I went back watching the highlights, was he developed that shot more as he got to the NBA and became a guy who could shoot from anywhere on the court. But Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, got a chance to interview him a few years ago, talked about his battle with stuttering and all that kind of stuff. And just you forget how great he was watching the highlights. Like he was a stud. Terrence Jones, who I got to know as a Houston Rocket, was awesome. And then Teague and Lamb, probably 2 of the more underrated, guards from the Kentucky era. But beating Louisville in the Final Four was like the exclamation point. And then to beat Thomas Robinson, everybody loved Kansas. Thomas Robinson, the next coming, and all this. So, look, it was Calipari's one title at Kentucky. Should have had more. Damn right, should have had more. But that team to me is just one of my all-time favorites.
I think I accidentally just gave my number 1 last time, so I'll do an honorable mention, a team that I really enjoyed, mainly because during the COVID year, there was nothing else to do, entertain, and other than consume media. And I remember hearing all year how Gonzaga in 2021 was the best team of all time, beating San Francisco School of the One-Armed or whatever it was. Now here comes Baylor, 2021. 5 guys who shoot 40% from 3, just absolutely annihilated everybody in the tournament, including that Gonzaga team, which was rather gratifying because I didn't want to see anybody surpass the win total of 38 that Kentucky has for that national title in 2012. So an honorable mention for me there to finish up.
Yeah. I'm shocked you had us at 5. I've got us at 1, 2012 Kentucky Wildcats. While I was watching those highlights, I kind of remembered everything that was going on during that time. Like Tin Roof, 2 Keys, going back and forth. Man, what a run. That was my super senior year. So I'm glad I mean, my loans say different, but I'm glad I stayed for that extra year. Man, what a run we had. Being from Chicago, having, the best player be from Chicago as well, Anthony Davis, just a special team. Darius Miller, a Kentucky boy, just giving things up in order to win that title. But you're right, Chris. Terrence Jones, MKG, they were always at the rim. They dunked everything, hit every 3. Man, what a team that was, man! And yeah, we did it, and it was just a incredible journey. So that'll do it for this exercise. Top 5 national titles for champions for the last 25 years, 26 years. Pretty fun. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.